Hey, I'm Scott Hall, psychic medium. A little bit late today with my Facebook Live by 3 minutes, not too bad. So today I'm going to talk about that you are psychic. That's what it is. I made up the topic right before coming here, which is perfect. Um, uh, you are psychic. Everyone is psychic, I believe, to varying degrees. And everyone has the ability to be completely psychic, or the psychic to your highest potential. I think as babies we start off psychic, and then we shut down a lot of it, and then when we're adults, if you're watching this, you must be one of them that wants. Hi Shannon, hi Jan. Must be one of the people that want to access this information again, or want to access this ability. But it's a natural ability. It's just something that we've kind of cut off. I looked up some definitions of psychic, and it's hilarious. Janet and I were laughing this morning. One of them says for the adjective of psychic is relating to faculties or phenomena that are apparently inexplicable by natural laws. Just so funny that they had to put apparently in there, because like if you are psychic, then if you took out the apparently, then you're talking about things that are psychic. You're talking about things that are phenomena that are inexplicable by natural laws. Well, isn't that what it is? Why do you have to put apparently in there? Then it just makes the whole thing crazy, like a double negative. Like you're not psychic. Well, I am psychic because I just am apparently able to do this. And then the noun is a person considered or claiming to have psychic powers. I like that one, a person considered or claiming to be. So if you claim to be psychic, it's like if they put in a doctor, a person who claims to be a medical professional. I mean, you wouldn't put claim in there. You just say a doctor is a medical professional, and if you're not, then you're not. But they're like doing double negatives. Hi, Jen. And then another noun is for psychic is a person apparently sensitive to non-physical forces. And once again, it's apparently. So that they're writing this saying this is they should say it's an apparent definition, and it may be a definition, but it shows how much fear is involved with even saying that any of this is real, which is just nuts to me. That's crazier than being psychic for sure, because we all are, and I'm about to explain why you are psychic. One of the things that you are able to do, and unless I'm glad Janet's laughing, unless you're seriously like a sociopath and murderer. We've been watching that show Mindhunter, and we're loving that, about serial murders and how the FBI looked into the psychology behind the murderers. And I would say that some of those people have no ability to be empathic. I'm not to say they have the ability. They've completely closed down, subconsciously probably, because of what happened to them when they're young or something, or chemically, I don't know. But they have no longer have access to the empathic ability. And what I mean by being empathic is the ability to, when we say in this business empathic, we mean the ability to feel someone else's feelings, like really feel them. They go in your body and it affects your body, and you feel that. I'll give you the main example I always give is if you're home watching TV and your mom walked in the door and she was in a horrible mood, or let's say something really upsetting happened, she closed that door, and you could say, well, I could tell because that door was shut a little bit differently, but mostly it's because you're feeling her feelings as soon as she walks in. We grow up in the womb, right? We're growing in the womb of our mother, so we're feeling the feelings, and we just get used to that connection, and it doesn't matter what the distance is, we feel that connection. We know when our mother is upset, and that is a psychic ability, right? Another example that would be like, when you go into the grocery store and you feel someone behind you, or you feel someone's angry, or someone just had an argument and you could feel them. That's being empathic. The reason why that stays with most of us, we don't really cut that off. A lot of us are like, the ones that have been claimed to be overly sensitive, like I've been told. Is the reason why we keep our ability to be empathic, or to be empaths, is because it keeps us safe, or we believe it does. what we do is we check into a person's feelings. We know how they're doing, and especially if that's a person that's kind of unsafe to be around, we know, oh, they're okay in a good mood, or oh, they're getting in a bad mood. What do I do to get them in a good mood? Because I know that I'm safe when they're in a good mood. So we use that to be safe. So that one stays around with most of us all the time. There's other things like clairvoyance. Have you ever seen something in your mind's eye and then found out that that's what was really happening elsewhere? And usually it's with people we know. But not all the time. Or say you knew the phone was going to ring, and you knew who was going to call, and then the phone rings and the person calls. That's seeing the future a little bit. Claircognizance is clear knowing, and I'm not going to go over all these, but I'm just trying to show that everyone's got a little bit of this going on still. So claircognizance is like when if your best friend got really upset with you and you're sitting at lunch with her and you're saying, and she's like sobbing, and you just know what to say, and you feel this connection with her, and you just say, you're a wonderful person, blah, 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 and it just flows through you. That's claircognizance, clear knowing, and you just know what to do. And I say that's like the most consistent thing that happens in a reading for me is I just know what to say. I'll check with spirit sometimes. I go, am I on the right track here? And I'll get a yes, but that's like, yeah, it just comes out of you. It's such a cool thing. What else we got? You know what your partner, anyone who's had a partner for a number of years knows that you just know what they're going to say. A lot of times you know what they're thinking. They can say one word. They can go, oh, I meant to tell you, I meant to say, and they say, a couple times, and you know what they're trying to get out. You just know. So that's a psychic ability too. And sensing that a person just isn't right for you. If you meet someone, you're like, oh, something is not right with this person. That is right. That's nothing that, according to what I know of right now, that we're not able to measure that with science, but I think we will be one day. But we're feeling something that science can't explain, therefore it's psychic or metaphysical. So it's all available to you. It's just the amount of openness. And Janet says claircognizance is both the easiest and the hardest because it's right there in your head. Yeah, that's true. It seems almost too easy. But shouldn't life be easy? Claircognizance seems super easy. That's why when I check, it's not a check because the client's going, that's not right. It's just I'm checking because, wow, that was just so easy. And I didn't really get the feeling that someone gave me something, but I got a feeling like it just downloaded, like it was just very natural. So that's really cool. Where I'm going with this is that you are psychic, you have these abilities. I'm very, very open person, and I've been told this by other entities, one of them being the underwriters who I channel, and they said that's why you're able to channel a extraterrestrial to Ave, my friend, and easily access my spirit guides is because I'm very open about this stuff, and there is a part of me, there's a doubting Thomas part of me big time, and I'm working on him. He's still there, believe it or not. But for the most part, I'm very open. So I suggest you look at everything with a very open mind, and don't do, even with people in our industry do a lot, as they say, I'm this, and I'm good at that, and that's my thing, that's my mojo. But I urge everyone to not pigeonhole yourselves. Don't say, well, I'm not, maybe channeling freaks you out, but if you're thinking about channeling, don't say I can't channel right now, or don't say I'm not a good medium, I don't never talk to a dead person. Don't say that if you want to, because maybe you can. I believe you have the ability. I believe everyone has the ability to do that. It's just a matter of what you want to access and whether you're going to be open about it and whether you're fearful about it or not, because fear is what holds everything down. So just think of stress and fear as like the tube that I keep talking about where everything comes in. The tube gets crunched up and squeezed tight so that things can't come in. So don't think of yourself as I've got an open tube with this and I've got a closed tube. No, that's not true. You're open with everything if you choose to be. With giving readings, what I like to do is help people with this, with staying open or opening more. My way of looking at it, or my belief about people, is that they should be self-empowered. They should feel self-empowered to make your own decisions about anything in life, accessing all this information that you can access psychically. So you can access how someone, hey Laura, you can access how someone is feeling You can access information about what the future might hold. You can ask for advice from your spirit guides. All this is available to you. I don't believe like in the psychic that you should like go to a psychic every week to find out what you're doing next week. That just seems so silly to me. Like a lot of people think of it as it's about what's going on in the future. Hey Laura again. About that and then that doesn't make sense to me. And then you go, I'm gonna go see Scott to find out what I'm doing next week. I don't even like to give readings like the way I think I back off from looking at future stuff. Sometimes it comes in really strongly, but it's more about I feel you're going to meet so and so or such and such, or it would be advantageous for you to meet this kind of person which would help you with this. I kind of see that happening, that kind of thing. That's more helpful than your car's going to break down next week, so you better keep an eye on it. And don't you want to access that information yourself? So don't you want to know, this is the right decision for me. How do I know that? Because it feels right in me. And plus I got all these ideas about what a right decision might look like for me. I got them from accessing my information. So when a client comes in and sits down with me, they like bring this gigantic, wonderful sky of information with them, and they sit down, and I just access that sky. So they can do the same thing. Now, what happens is that this happens to Janet and me as well, is that when you're stressed, once again, like I said, it closes that access, that tube of information gets closed off and we can't access it. It's like the information just right there wants to come in, but you can't do it when you're stressed out. So even though we're both psychic mediums, we still give each other readings. We'll pull cards or give each other readings to help each other access things when we're stressed out. But a lot of times, as you know, when you have a partner, if the partner's stressed out, then you're stressed out too, because you know that the partner's like trying to figure out whether this job is the right job or not, and you're a little stressed about it too. So sometimes both of us seek outside psychic help too. But other than that, when everything's going well, go meditate and find out how you're feeling about certain things. Go try to access everything yourself, and know that it sounds more like, to me, I always thought it was going to be when I reached out when I got that spirit guide to come and give me information, it was going to be right in front of my face, just like someone would just plunk right, oh, I see you, Steve, thank you, hey, spirit guide Steve, I didn't know, wow, you're tall and big, and oh, what did you have to say to me? It's nothing like that. It's more like a whisper in your ear with your mind's own voice, with your mind's voice, yeah, with the same voice that you think of when you think thoughts. That same voice is going to be talking to you, but the idea will come from elsewhere. So I was talking about, my goal is to get people to be self-empowered in making decisions, but using your own psychic ability. That's really important to me. And to be able to access, so when you come to me, you think, Scott's able to do this and he's able to do that, and that's why I come see him. That's true, but please keep in mind that you are able to do it as well. And you can be able to do it, you can increase your ability with time. And it does take practice. I didn't just start giving psychic readings out of nowhere. I had to practice with people. And first I practiced online with doing email, and then I practiced, they would email me a question and I would meditate and do channel writing and come up with an answer. And then I went and did the Blue Barn up in Roswell, the Big Psychic Fair, which is this weekend, by the way. Just go to the Blue Barn, look up Big Psychic Fair. And doing that, practicing, made it work better. It's kind of got the mechanism working better, but mostly it got the fear down, because the fear is what holds it back. Let's see if I had anything else I wanted to say. Yeah, I talked about that. My goal, yeah, I talked about that too. Yeah, I want to talk about one more thing. So I had I talked about, I posted a bowling ball, my head, going down and getting a strike, and I talked about what a psychic strike was. If you didn't see that, look it up on Facebook here, or look it up on Instagram. My Instagram account, it's on there. That's ASH Scott Hall Psychic. And what I talked about was that it's more of a strike for me. It's more of a hit to get a psychic hit when the client resonates with what I'm saying and knows that I'm talking about them and then knows it's something very personal and it's just for them. Versus like, I mean, it's also great to have a psychic hit where you're like, oh, your Aunt Sally said, you know, watch out for the red tractor. And you're like, oh, the red tractor, that's right, Aunt Sally and I, we should ride a red tractor, blah, blah, blah. And that's a kind of hit where you're like, oh, he's really giving me a psychic reading. But to me, I watch clients, and it's more important that, like when they start crying, some clients do cry, I do also, they cry because it's personal. I've given them some personal information that means something to them. And to me, that's more of a hit than getting the dead aunt's, you know, tractor correct. So because then you know, this is for me, I can tell this is really personal. And so that's the same kind of information I want to help you access for yourself. So not only can I give you a reading, I also help you access your intuition and kind of just get the fear away and open up that tube and allow information to come in. Hi Nicole, I want to see if anyone has any questions. So we're talking about that you are psychic, that everyone is psychic, and what I'm asking is to not pigeonhole yourselves and say, well, I'm psychic in this way, but I'm not psychic in those ways. And that way you can leave the possibility for expansion. Because really, when you came in, you were like gigantic, and then we shrunk because they're like, oh, well, that's not, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't do that, and this is not normal. And if it's not measured by science, it's not important. But remember this, when you die, we all know this, even though we haven't died, when you die, we will review our lives, and there's one thing that's going to be important to us, and that is how much we loved and how much we were loved. That exchange of love that's how we're going to measure our lives. And love is not currently measurable by science as far as I know, other than maybe the electromagnetic pulses we put out when we're in love, I don't know. But really, it's a psychic thing, right? And so when we die, our psychicness is more important than our measured science-ness. So just remember that this is real stuff, and it's really important. So I don't see any questions. So if you would like to book with me, I have the booking things on my services rather on my Facebook page, or go to scotthallpsychic.com and go to services there. Oh, Shannon has a question. Do you get a confirmation when you get info? I get a physical shiver, kind of when you shiver when you're cold. Yeah, so that's what I call getting lit up. Is I get goosebumps on my arms, and I get like the shivers, and that's my hit from spirit. But for me, that means I get very specific things. That means that what I'm talking to the client about or thinking about for myself is really important, and to keep going in that direction. It's like a big yes. Even if it's something sad, it's like, this is what needs to be concentrated on. So I do get that. But sometimes when I get information, it doesn't come with this is correct. It just comes, and then I just speak it and try it out and tell the client or tell myself, this must be important because it got plunked in my head. And so, and also think of it this way too, is that if you're fabricating something, why did you fabricate that one thing? So even the imaginative mind has, you have to say, well, why did you imagine that versus that? So there may be validity even to imagining things and completely coming up with it on your own. So think about it that way. It's actually, the more stuff up here is more real than stuff here. Any other questions? Okay, so once again, scotthallpsychic.com. If you'd like to book with me, I'd love to talk to you. I really prefer to do in-person readings, but if you're out of town, phone readings are very powerful. That's how I started, by doing phone and email readings. I don't do email readings anymore, but I started by doing remote readings like that. But I really like connecting with people in the physical to see and see what they're about and feel their energy off their body right in real time like that. So anyway, everyone have a great Tuesday, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.